Ladies and gentlemen, we've got more market updates for y'all, and we're going to be checking it out with our man Oz. As always, Oz brings the heat with the market updates, does all the good stuff with the market updates, and we're going to see how it looks. Let's check it out.
So this is the Oz report for February 2nd, 2025. And let's start today, as always, with Plex and Plex adjacent items, because Plex is down
It is
almost 2%. And the reason for that is because as I explained on stream at length earlier, we have the big 50% off Omega and MCT deal expire on the New Eden store. That was the big sale that made
a little bit more, sure,
that made the difference between skill farming being profitable versus being not profitable. So
yeah,
without the sale, just going by the 12-month Plex package, skill farming 1 billion a month loss. With the sale, 700 million per account win, profit, and so hugely impactful for the economy. Made the Plex price spike last week. This week we're slightly down, but still at a very high level.
It is. I've been buying Plex quite a bit. As of this video, because the video he put out is a couple days ago, this is still applicable, okay? Plex is still going down. It looks like it's a little bit higher yesterday, but you can see that this is the average price. It's still been going for, we actually saw one sub 6 million. A year ago, it was at what, like 5 million? A year ago, we were at 48. Crazy. Okay, so I've been buying orders on Plex, and I've been seeing if I can get it for below 6, and I've been able to do that pretty consistently for the past day or two. So I do recommend, if you're trying to buy some Plex, to get in on it now. I do recommend also spacing it out. This is not, you don't ever want to just buy like a bunch of stuff at once. You want to buy a little bit today, and then if you have like some ISK left over, wait till tomorrow and see kind of where stuff goes. And if you see the trend keep going down, you can ride the trend. This way you don't, maybe where it is today is at the peak of where it's going to be next week. Maybe next week it's going to crater. Maybe next week it's going to go up. So you space out your investments up and down. It's literally how you do it in real life, how you buy stocks. Actually, I'm not an investor, not financial advice, but in EVE Online, in the video game, that's what I would recommend you do, okay?
That's just it.
If you don't know what this is, y'all, Oz has its own report, his own tool, if you want to call it. Definitely good. This video will be linked in the YouTube description, and I'll put it in the stream after. Go check out Oz's channel, go give him a sub, and go give him a like. I'll go give him a like now as well.
Right, if you look at the in-game browser here and we look at Plex pricing, you can see the journey that Plex has taken this year. If the graph ever comes up
I was just showing
Australian ping, you can see that, you know, we've gone from sub 5 million to comfortably over 6 million this year. And so overall, this is still very high pricing. You can see today's cheapest sell price in JITA is 6.1. So it's come down a little bit, but still over 6 million.
It was 6.4 last week. And look, there's a lot of reasons for this. The main reason in-game is the introduction of Skinner. You can literally chart the release of Skinner to the beginning of kind of this upward trend, because this Skinner system is a thing in EVE that was not a thing 2 years ago that cost Plex, that is a thing now in EVE that cost Plex. And people are using it. People are using it to make skins for their corporation. They are using it, at the very least, it's a new Plex sync that wasn't in the game before. Also, let's just be honest, this stuff mirrors real life. Money right now is tight for a lot of people. Global economies are not exactly the best, so let's just put it that way, okay? So the EVE in-game premium currency, which in order to get this, real money has to be spent, IRL money, okay? This is something that we're going to see stuff go up. I'm not surprised by this. How can this go down? You see a lot of people calling for CCP Games to lower this manually. This is a tough nut to crack because CCP Games does not like to intervene on the market directly, especially because EVE is more of a simulation, as they've said, less of a game, more of a simulation. So if the prices are higher, then it's like, what do you want us to do? Like intervene when the prices are higher? We'll see. There's probably some more subtle things they can do instead of hitting it with a hammer. I don't really like any of the comments I've seen on our YouTube channel recently about what to do with Plex. I think we just need to let it settle and let the market keep going. Maybe my biggest thing that I would like to see as a maybe is some way to generate Plex in game that is not so crappy. The daily goals have been absolutely destroyed. You can only get 5 plex a month, and the 4 daily goals, these aren't even that good. This is an unfun system. The daily goal system was something I was very excited about, and now has become an unfun thing. That's another video. You can still do this, but it's just not enjoyable. It's just not. So I'd like there to be some way to generate plex in game that isn't so archaic and so not well implemented, in my opinion. See, we don't just shill, okay? We do some shilling for sure. We don't just shill, chat. We call out the bad systems where they are, okay? So that's true. The skill bundles in the NES, that's very true, Wrath. You are correct. So, see.
Large skill injectors, on the other hand, we saw them come down significantly last week.
Oh man, they plummeted.
They've recovered a little bit, but this is because skill farms, as explained last week, needed liquidity to take advantage of the sale.
Yep.
So they are recovering a little bit, and in the long...
Does that make sense for y'all? Okay. There was a big sale 2 weeks ago, last week. There was the MCT Omega sale, and it is the sale that the skill farmers look for. They get this every year. It's like a once a year, every half year thing, whatever it is. I think it might be once a quarter. Whatever it is, they get this stuff. So one of the reasons we like to react to this is because when that sale was going on, we called out, hey, go check out prices of LSIs, because you can buy them and plug your skills on your character for cheaper, because they're about to go down a bunch and then come back up. Now you'll see that it was not as low as it has been, but it was lower than the recent trends. So now that sale is done, LSI prices are going back up. That's where that goes, right? So
long run, having the sale exist, the New Eden store 50% off Omega, off New Eden, off MCTs, having that exist means that you have to consider skill farming to be profitable for at least those people taking it very seriously, and those people having a lot of liquidity to take advantage of that sale. And so in the long run, this is going to hamper the upper price level of the large skill injectors.
Yeah.
I think, that
right.
the level that we have been seeing here at, just below 900 million is probably a good level for skill injectors in this environment. I think they're not going to drop back down to, the 830 levels, but still.
Right.
It's.
I totally agree. I don't think we're going back up to the 1 billion. We were kind of spiking up to a billion there for a little bit, and this was not an uncommon thing. It's getting close to a billion for one. I think we're going to sit around at 8.9. We'll see. 0.89, excuse me. Not 8 billion, 890 million, excuse me. So I think that's where we're going to sit. Something I think Oz and people don't talk about enough are people like me that I pay money for Omega, okay? And my other 2 characters, I have my 1 main, and my other 2 characters are LSI farmers. So for me, it's not about, is it profitable to make LSIs? I just make LSIs because I pay for Omega. When Oz says, is it profitable? He's talking about people that pay for their account with this. They don't pay real money for Omega. They get ISK to buy Plex, and they Plex their accounts to get Omega with LSI farming, and they literally make like 100 million ISK every month, just barely profitable to be able to make sure that their account is still going. Because what they do, and this is just the reality of it, if they have 20 accounts that are all 3 characters are just farming LSIs in Jitta, just sitting there, okay? And they make 100 million a month. What's 100 million times 20 a month? Every month. See what I'm saying? Okay. Now, that's one aspect of these players. What about the me's of the world that just farm LSIs? I gotta be honest with you, chat. I was selling LSIs down here. I was selling LSIs up here. I was selling LSIs down here. I was selling them whenever I needed the ISK. That's one of the reasons why you see these people coming in. I always sell to sell orders. I don't to buy orders because that's way, way cheaper, right? But when I need the ISK, I stockpile my LSIs. Like right now, I don't have as many right now because I just got my alts trained into deluges. Look for that video. It literally took a month to train my LSI training alts into a deluge. Look for that video. Okay, we're gonna have a good time with it. Now that they're done training deluges, now I'm back to LSIs. I have I make about 30 LSIs a month. okay, with all the characters that I have doing this, right? And I typically sit on those. So like, you know what? I need the ISK. Let's just like sell this. But I try to sell it on the peak, but you know, sometimes I just need the ISK chance. So I think there's a couple of things other to consider here. What can you do with this? LSIs are one of the best ways to get skills if you're a newer player, okay? But they're also something that can get addicting. I really do not recommend you buy a lot of these if you are newer. It's something you could do if you like really want to play something with your buddies. Here's why. You can see characters with less than 5 million skill points get the most. They get 500,000 skill points, okay? I get only 150k. You look at the difference. I have way over 80 million, okay? So you don't really want to buy these if you're a higher skill point player like me, but you can still get it if you're 5 to 50 million. You still get 400k. Now, if you're over 50 million, you only get 300k. Gets almost half. It becomes way less worth it. How I would use large skill injectors is if you are trying to play with your buddies, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to wait a month to fly the ship that we're all flying. Let me go get an LSI. Let me go get 1 or 2 LSIs and go see if we can do that. That's what I would use that for. So, you know, there it is. So, Louis, that is not at all what Eve has ever been about. Thank you for that. Bye-bye.
With the sale now, I think the upper boundary of large skill injector pricing has been set, because there's not going to be a boundary. I don't think we're going to go back to anywhere to, you know, way above 900 million. I don't think so.
I agree.
Skill extractors, on the other hand, are a different beast. I expect them to rise in price. We still haven't come back to equilibrium pricing if you measure it in Plex. This is still lingering inventory from the last large skill extractor sales, and skill farming being more profitable going forward also means that we're going to have a higher demand for skill extractors, so I am very bullish on those.
Same. Get ready for a skill extractor sale. Okay. The thing that's super annoying about LSIs is that the price of LSIs do not match. They don't match the skill extractor sale. So you need skill extractors to get large skill injectors. This is the base item. But the skill extractor market is basically standalone from LSIs. The peak of skill extractors does not mirror a peak of LSIs ever. In the past year, it hasn't done that. I want you to look at this. When we start getting close to like 550 million for skill extractors, there's inevitably a skill extractor sale. That's these dips. If you're watching this video, you're about to make a bunch of money. In the next maybe month, we're going to see some kind of skill extractor sale. I'm calling it now. As you can see, it's been a long time. CCP Games has proven that they like to do skill extractor sales when stuff gets super high, when it starts going up to 550 million. They're probably going to have one within the next couple weeks to a month. Save your ISK. Save your ISK. They'll plummet down like 100 million below that you could see here. It went down to like 450 million at this bottom. It was like 460 million here. I was able to get a crap ton of skill extractors. I got about 200 of these when they were at 450 million. What I do is I save 100 of them to resell here. Ask me how much money I'm making on these. A decent amount, okay? More than a decent amount, okay? If I buy 100 skill extractors and I make a profit of 100 million ISK on all of them, you do the math. It's quite a bit of profit. I wait for these sales, and it is a story of the rich get richer. It is, but if you can only afford one, and you buy one of these, and you wait 3 months on a really awesome investment, and it is, they will go back up. We've seen this happen for the past couple years. This is the last year, okay? Then you sell it for 100 million ISK profit. There's not a lot of items in the EVE Online universe that you can buy, wait 3 months for a near guaranteed 100 million ISK profit. That's pretty awesome, okay? So I recommend you buy stuff. Do not buy skill extractors yet, Spicy. No. Spicy, let me help you with market understandings here. Skill extractors are at a peak right now. When they go down, and then when you see a sale, we'll talk about it too on our channel, our Patreon. You can join for free, and we break down the sales as they come out and how to best use them to spend as little money as possible. Check it out for free. We give it to you for free, okay? Over on our Patreon, thank you. Do not buy skill extractors now. You can sell them now to make a bunch of ISK because it's at a near peak. We're at like 530 million, okay? It's coming soon. Save your ISK, stockpile your ISK for the next couple weeks. When the skill extractor sale happens, thank you, boy Loru, by liking this video. Okay.
I'm keeping all the skill extractors that I have right now and not selling.
He's waiting.
And, I think, below 550, I wouldn't think about selling them right now.
There you go. Okay.
All right, let's move to the...
By the way, when you hear someone saying that, I'm waiting, he's a whale. If you hear whales are waiting at 550, maybe sell them at 540. Okay, because we got to do a market manipulation and a market planning guide, because you need to be able to understand that if whales are doing stuff, that's what we call resistance when you're buying stocks. And if there's a bunch of resistance, if there's 10,000 skill extractors and you put your price above those, you're not selling yours. You have to put it below theirs. So I think we got to do that guide because there's so much to say about that. So
rest of the Oz report.
Right, Papa.
Let's look at what's trending up this week.
All right, we'll see it. Yo.
And there we have to talk about moon materials. All right, you see in the on the dashboard here, moon materials overall.
We're looking at this column right here.
Are up quite significantly.
Up. Yeah.
Last week we were talking about a moon crash. This
Bounce
week
back.
it's more of a correction. So especially
Wow.
R16 moon materials corrected by 10% up.
This is why you can never know. Last week, Oz was saying, look, the moon mats are going to keep crashing. They're going to keep going down. We think they're going to be absolutely abysmal. And look, we've got a 10% increase. And we're only at 5%. It's this R16. We're only at 5% below a 12-month average for the R16. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And look, we're actually above for R32 still. Now, the R4 and the R8s are the easier to mine, right? And those are because of the Metanox moon drill. So these videos are more of a guide. You can't ever know what's going to happen. Nobody knows the future. No one's Nostradamus. So this is one of the reasons why whenever you have a market opportunity, I always say sell half. Another way to think of it is keep half, right? So if you were dumping moon mats and all of a sudden this week they're up, if you kept half, well, then you're good. But if it went down, well, you still have half and you can save it for a rainy day. Does that make sense?
Everything else is not that massively changed, and we now clearly see that hierarchy of moon material pricing R4 to R64. The more common a material is, so R4 trading about 40% under 52-week average. So
Still way under.
The more common it is, the cheaper it is because of Metanox moon mining, and R64s are 40% above yearly average, getting a lot more expensive, and even this week going up significantly in price again. So lots of volatility in moon material pricing, which means that yes, you can make a buck trading, you can make a buck speculating. I haven't made a big secret out of the fact that I think that we're a little over metanoxed right now in the ecosystem.
Yes.
I think it's not good if you have over 50% of moon materials coming from metanoxes. So my money, if I can influence this, my money would be that we would reduce the impact of metanoxes going forward a little bit to get more miners out in space, but we'll see. We'll see where we go with that.
Nice inept. Yeah, I also want you to look at PI mats. Okay, where is it? PI commodities are down about 0.6%. We're still above. I can tell you that I've seen this myself. What I've been selling I do a lot of PI, a lot. You're going to see PI go down a little bit as we keep getting forward because of the PI templates. PI is one of those things that in order to get P3s, it takes a couple weeks of P0 to P1 to P2 and then P3s and then P4. So it takes maybe a month to get from 0 to 4. You could do it faster if you have a fully optimized system and you're doing it every day, but I don't. I like to let it sit, let my extractors run, and then I check on them every couple weeks, right? So once a week, couple weeks, whatever. So you're going to see this still be good, I think. PI commodities are still not something that is super commonly used comparatively. Look at the daily ISK traded, though. This is what I want to show you. Daily ISK traded 330, is that billion? 330 billion ISK. PI is quantifiably one of the best markets to get into because of the sheer amount of ISK being traded every day, dude. 330 billion? Is it at the top? The only thing bigger than PI is raw minerals at 500 billion ISK a day. The silver metal daily is PI. You have guaranteed buys in planetary interaction, planetary commodities go. We have full playlists. You can start today. We have a full beginner breakdown. That link will be in the description for you. That playlist will be in the description. You can make 400 million ISK a month in high sec on one account. I did it. Go check out those videos. Okay. I agree with you, Sincline, by the way.
What else is trending up?
PI is worth it in high sec to get your toes wet. Yes, Righteous Gamer, it does. It is worth it. Would you like 400 million ISK a month on one character? There's more upkeep, there's more cost because it's in high sec, but you will profit almost $500 million a month across 3 characters.
See a lot of Dead Space modules here, so very, very, very significant.
Yowzer.
I think 2 issues there. One is an overall availability of ISK. So we have more ISK available in the system. We clearly see that in the monthly economic report. Events like the Christmas event or some of the other faucets that are pretty unchecked or pretty or not balanced out with enough sinks right now are increasing ISK availability especially for multi-boxers, especially for very high skilled players or very, very hardcore players, I should say. And they are also the ones that would spend the most money on very expensive fits.
Remind me to answer that question, Scarabius. I will answer that. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here, just to like talk about some other stuff. I want to kind of do some beats because I'm noticing a couple things. We have some OPSEC stuff going on, chat, and we have to go get in on that. Okay, thank you. So let's talk about what's trending up this week via his report. These are trending up. If you have these, sell them. Whenever you see what's trending up, sell these. The Bowhead, if y'all are capital ship creators, go sell those. Mid-grade Asclepian, whatever, Omega cyber implants are up 24%. So you can, if you join the Frye fleet, you can go get these implants. I believe these, I think, from the faction warfare traders. Go trade your loyalty points for these implants. Republic Fleet Commander insignias. This is like a reputation item, up 72%. So if you have these, if you're in like a Mars space or in a space that drops these, go sell these for 70% more. That's pretty awesome. I want to fast forward a little bit because we actually have some OPSEC stuff coming in. I know Oz has a lot to say about these things, and I always want to make sure that we hit what's also trending down so we can try to see stuff. I know that he has a lot of really awesome stuff today, but I have some OPSEC things happening right now, so we're going to fast forward just a little bit. Let me move down to where you talk about what's trending down, Oz. Let's see it. So let's just fast forward a bit to trending down. Dread steel plates, this is a market correction for sure. Drake Navy issues are trending down. Pith shield harness are trending down. Typically, this is just like the market correcting itself, whatever. I want to look at the in short supply right here. Okay, let me go here really quick so that y'all can see a little bit better. In short supply, the Dominix. A Dominix is a really great battleship, a very well-used battleship. Also with the Kiki Moore is a really well-used destroyer. A lot of people use these two. So if you are crafters and you want to make some stuff, I would go make the Kiki Moore. I would go make the battleship. I couldn't give you this value without Oz breaking this down. I could not do it, okay? So also Sister Corp probe launchers, go get those. Large scale injectors, just because people are buying them up. We've talked a lot about LSIs. Largest drop in supplies, you can see Dominix, Dracovac, and the Kiki Moore have been going down. This is interesting that the Dracovac, a lot of people buying up Drake's battlecruiser, but we're still not in short supply. So I would definitely go make some Dominixes this week if you're an industry person. And these are not, I can make these myself. Maybe I should go make these, goodness freaking gracious. Let's come back. He scrolls down the page. What's key? I want to fast forward to this because we got some fun stuff to do today. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Bless you, Oz. I'm gonna watch these rest of these later. Okay. Highest trade volume versus yearly average. I think we're good here. Scorp Navy issue. I can tell you the SNI is going up a lot, primarily because it's just being used more. It's being used a lot in potch fins specifically. Being used a lot. Hypercores are also going up in terms of the amount of players buying and selling them. So we'll see about that. Not really sure why. Gambling is still happening. Ravens and Scorpion Navy issues are just in the meta now. If you're in Potchfin, if you're in nullsec, lowsec, wormhole space, these are being used a lot for whatever reason. The stuff keeps moving because ships counter ships counter ships. It's a rock paper scissors thing. So if you can make these, these are almost guaranteed sales. So you might not get the best price, but if you want to move on these, they will get you guaranteed sales because they're moving very, very fast. The most underpriced stuff, silicates, hydrocarbons, these are all These are moon mats. So we talked a lot about moon mats. What I think you can do with these moon mats is not sell them right now. You can also look at, so what I would do with this is go to Oz's video. You can see silicates. Okay, let's go search in the bar silicate. What does silicate make? That's one of my favorite things to do. So carbon polymer reactions. Let's go check how these are looking. Silicates make this item. These are very low. You can see it's spiked. These are not necessarily directly bound to moon materials. You can see these are they're not plummeting. Oh, I didn't have it. They're flatlining, so you could buy carbon polymers right now and see if you can get a pretty penny with those. Carbon polymers are used in pressurized oxides, you know, so you can then view these market details. Oh, this is the blueprint. Let's go check out the actual item. Go check these out. So these are going down, so you can keep kind of going up the chain. If you see the Oz report showing you that, moon mats are crashing. What can you get in the game to capitalize on this? These are going down. You could invest in these and buy some of these. These make core temperature regulators are actually one of the bigger items in battleship blueprints. How is the price of these? So you see these are actually, they're kind of going back and forth recently. So what you can try to do is use Oz's report to try to find market opportunities, then go into some of the other third-party tools we mentioned in Eve and go up the chain and see, can I buy the items that make core temperature regulators, build it myself since they're going for cheaper, and then make a profit on these? Almost certainly. Because you can see that the market of these, the core temperature regulators, they've been going down, but they haven't crashed like moon mats have. So maybe as you go up the chain, you'll be able to make some profit. This is how you can use this video. So let's see what Oz has to say at the end of this. And then I have OPSEC stuff going on, chat, so we can keep it going. Let's see what Oz has to say.
Are all dropped between 50 to 80% in supply. What that means is that today,
he's looking at Ishtars. I didn't even see this. Ishtars are at half the supply. Goodness gracious.
there is less than half of the sell orders available in JITA compared to last week. And so this is a very good indicator of what people are buying in large quantities.
Vindy.
You can also see that on kill mails.
It's indicator.
But it's a very good indicator if you're getting into industry, you know, what might be in demand right now, what might not be supplied quickly enough. And so especially if you're looking at Kikimoras and Dracovex, they're fairly easy to make compared to other ships. And you know, it's a very good pathway into industry, I think. You want to
I totally agree. Take these. Some you can craft. The easiest one to craft is the Dominix, because it's a base Tech 1 battleship. Dracovic is a trig ship. Kikimora is a trig ship, a little bit harder to make. Vindy is a faction battleship, a little harder to make. Ishtar is a Tech 2 cruiser, definitely harder to make. Ishtars don't go boom often enough. Apparently they do, because there's half of the Ishtars are gone in JITA compared to last week. Crazy.
Yeah, so that's all for the Oz report. I want to do a quick plug for my website. I said this on stream.
Let's listen to everything
earlier as well. So if you go to theoz.space, we now have an updated dashboard that you can control yourself with filters on top, thanks to Sentence from Quantum Anomaly. Try it out. Visit theoz.space, play around with the dashboard. We're going to keep iterating on this. It doesn't match fully yet as to what I have in Excel, but this is going to end up being a much better version of what I do, and so I can finally make that data available to you guys. So
this is sick. This is definitely go check out his website, chat. Go support Oz. Go check out his website.
That's going to be a very helpful resource to you. Other than that, we had the CSM Summit this week, which, you know, if you're interested in that, there's going to be another video out there and a complete live stream on me interviewing some of the CSM members of the outcome of that. So go check that out. All right, we're going to return to the regular stream, and I'm going to catch you on the Oz report next week.
Awesome. Chat, definitely go check out Oz. We're going to put this video in the description. I can't speak. Go give him a sub. Go check out his stuff. Definitely go give him a sub, chat. Wow, those Ishtars. Okay. We are about to get some good stuff. Even Sincline says he made 50 million more on those. That's nuts. Oz has the data. We're going to help that data be applicable to each and every one of you. Definitely go check out his stuff, check out his website. If you want the best Eve guides, make sure you sub right here. If you want more market news, make sure you bookmark this playlist. It's all of our gaming news. Stay up to date with all the space MMO information. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much.